Neba ekene munu. Asim kanko echiri ya zelu. Asi n'ụbọchị nketa adịrị na na mma. Na ya dịka echi na-echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise ise. Dịka o si dị n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nketa bịaba chi na-ewetara onye bụ ozi bụ Eastern News 24 gbasịta maka ebe ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya anụ nwere ụwa na-azụ n'iru akwụkwọ. N'ụbọchị nketa ewetara unu update ihe Biafran Chief of Staff kwuru. Unu na-anụ ka o si ada na Finland and ama m na unu na-anụ ka o si ada na United States of Biafra or Biafra Republic Government in exile. Gee ntị ka ihe Biafran Prime Minister were ikwu or the update o wetara n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa dịka ihe ga ya bụ ife tọọ ntị na ana ka ị gee ya bụ ife o were ikwu ị ga-esi dropụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe ndị a niile ọ rụtagasị aka dị iche iche. All right, over to you.
Of the United States of Biafra. We thank you so very much. We also thank our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, for being where you are today because of us. We thank you for your resoluteness. We thank you for your steadfastness. We thank you for your support. We thank you for standing for the freedom of our people, just like our own Obatobie is doing. Fellow Biafrans, I thank you so much for coming today. Let me thank everyone today for your support to this government. Despite the distractions, like somebody has said, without this transition, without this distraction, we may not get to where we're going. So this is part of those things. But what determines our state, what determines how we move forward is the way we handle some of these minor distractions coming from every corner, few corners actually. The way we handle them is what is going to determine how we move in the future. I thank everyone. As you're aware, we just returned from Finland, where we went to declare our independence. Right now, the United States of Biafra is a free and independent nation. Even though we are still struggling and trying to protect our territory, we must continue to do that. Well, like our Prime Minister said, after our declaration, anybody coming to tell you that we are going to perform magic overnight, that means they've not been truly following our leader, His Excellency our Prime Minister Simon Eber. Because our PM has consistently said, the essence of our declaration is to get all the necessary documents we need to start reaching out to international communities, to start reaching out to the world, to get the recognition we need to function as a full-fledged independent nation. That task is on course. Nothing has changed. Nothing has moved. Meanwhile, we continue to use all the other multi-dimensional approach which our Prime Minister has established, which is one self-defense. We must defend our country against external aggressors, like the terrorist state of Nigeria. Our angels will continue to confront the reintegrated terrorists wearing Nigerian military and uniform in our territory. The Monday sit at home must continue. We must continue that because that is part of our referendum until our country is fully defended. We are continuing to start using the political aspects and the diplomatic aspect to engage our allies and also our enemies. It is very, very critical and very important that we do that. So everything our Prime Minister has set in place is consistently in motion. Let nobody deceive you or tell you otherwise. Let me start by welcoming the new cabinet of the United States of Biafra. As most of you are aware, we have a new cabinet established by the United States of Biafra. Those that have been following our Prime Minister closely, we know he has publicly and openly declared, once the United States of Biafra is declared, the Brigade Cabinet will be dissolved. That is exactly what we did. We are in line with that order. Nobody can change that order. unless the person has another person they are following or another country they are working for. As long as it's the United States of Biafra and Briggy, that order stands and not to be questioned, because there is a reason why our Prime Minister gave that order, and we are following that. Let me introduce the list of the Briggy cabinet members, of the United States of Biafra cabinet members. These are the members that will steer the ship of this United States of Biafra to the level that our Prime Minister wants it to be. The first list I'm going to mention is, again, the new cabinet members will have 1 or 2 minutes to introduce themselves and also to take questions from Biafrans and from the press, if anybody have any view, any opinion, whatever. But there'll be an opportunity for that. All right. The cabinet of the United States of Biafra government, the first person on that list is our leader, Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the leader of our cabinet. Our Prime Minister is His Excellency Obato Bie, the Peace Ambassador Simon Ekpa Njaku. We have the Deputy Prime Minister, the interim COS, who is my humble self, Dr. Ngozi Oregweze / Patricia Omogbai, who will resume office at the appropriate time. We have our Secretary of State, Engineer Christian Udozo. We have our Secretary of Defense, Engineer Solomon Nkwocha / CB. We have the Secretary of the Treasury, Vera Orji. We have the Secretary of Justice, Attorney Jane Iwunze. We have the Secretary of Energy, Emmanuel Yakubu. We have the Secretary of Oil and Gas, Bennett Anyanwu. We have the Secretary of Education, Dr. Ngozi Obalenwe. We have the Secretary of Youth and Sports, Gozie Jonathan. We have the Secretary of Commerce and Industry, Benjamin Jonathan. We have the Secretary of Science and Technology, Honorable Praise Egu. We have the Secretary of Arts, Culture and Tourism, Judith Osazua. We have the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Ofoma. We have the Secretary of Transportation and Logistics, Edward Ibe. We have the Secretary of Policy and Strategic Planning, Paul Adinam. We have the Secretary of Interior and Homeland Security, Dr. Dorothy Anthony. We have the Secretary of Community and Social Services, Princess Udwak. We have the Secretary of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Ferdinand Okang. We have the Secretary of Employment, Labor and Productivity, Honorable Ulla Obona. We have the Secretary of Finance, Economic Development and Trade, Pharmacist Diane Eme. We have the Secretary of Housing, Urban Development and Infrastructure Planning, Reverend Ebenezer Anene. We have the Secretary of Water Resources and Environmental Management, Dr. Cornelius Nana. We have the Secretary of Information, Telecom and Postal Services, Dr. Princess Age. That would take us to the second list, where we have the Deputy Secretaries to some of these departments. We have the Department of State, Director of Foreign Affairs, Adeza. We have, for North and South America, we have Honorable Uche Obi, European, African, Oceanic, Asian Affairs. The Department of Defense, Deputy Secretary, CB/Philip Ajogo. Department of Justice, we have the Religious Freedom and Monitoring, headed by Dr. Sister Dominica Olewune. Under the Jewish, we have Apostle Steve Ajubi. Christianity, we have Ada Ono. Department of Education, Deputy Secretary, we have Henry Agowa. Department of Arts, Culture and Tourism, Deputy Secretary, the Warri Sister. Department of Health and Human Services, Deputy Secretary, Dr. Franka Modibe. Department of Transportation and Logistics, Deputy Secretary, Okole Wadioka. Department of Community and Social Services, Deputy Secretary Victoria Frank. Women and Children Services, Nkendering James. Disability Department, Pastor Rose Allen. Department of Finance, Economic Development and Trade, Deputy Secretary Bridget YJ. Department of Information, Telecommunication and Postal Services, Deputy Secretary Tochi Namani. The media team, we have Voice of Biafra, Ugo 247, QTV, Biafra Writers of Conscience, Adajo Rama. These are some of the departments. We have the deputy secretaries already occupied. Each of these departments is expected to expand their unit. Those of you that were present in Finland, you know that under each of these departments, we have so many other departments. And each of those secretaries, each of the secretaries working closely with the Department of Labor and Productivity will be able to expand all these departments. Again, these are the secretaries of the United States of Biafra, and we welcome all of them to this task ahead, which is going to be to take the United States of Biafra to the level that our Prime Minister will be able to work comfortably with, without any distractions. That is our task. We do not want him to come out and meet this government the way he left it. That is our task. It is also the task of every Biafra that is listening here. Let me quickly bring us to know that our angels are doing what they need to do, getting all the support they are getting, both from our defense minister and from the finance department. Again, as some of you may be aware, we can only work with what we have. A couple of items that was left by our prime minister before this slight incident he had have been hijacked by some individuals. Moving forward, all our fundraisings will go to the New Dimension mandate until the United States of Biafra account is established. Any liaison head, any rep head that diverts the fund of this government to another source will be replaced immediately. It is our task to continue to fund our men on ground and also attend the functions of the government and pay the bills for the government. We've been denied access to the IPOB-USA.gov account and also the Homeland account. We've been denied access to that. And there's no way we can function without access to those accounts. That is why we are going to use the New Dimension mandate to continue to raise massive funds for this government until we switch to our USD account. In the area of our, I know I've been able to meet with our attorneys, a couple of them, and again, each and every one of them have their different assignment given by the Prime Minister. The expectation is that they continue to do that task assigned to them by our Prime Minister. So far, we have a couple of individuals that tried to do their own thing and paint this government on a very bad light. And this government, we're not going to allow that to happen. Moving forward, anyone who has the interest of this government at heart must dissociate themselves from individuals like Oge Chukwunkere, Sonny Akparawa, Raphael Ajere, Vision 555, 247 United or something. These individuals are not working on behalf of this government. Anybody in any form that associates themselves with these individuals is doing so to the detriment of this government. And we will take appropriate steps to make sure that such individuals does not disrupt what we are doing. The fundraising for the United States of Biafra resumes appropriately this coming weekend. And Biafrans will continue to do what they know best, which is raising funds to do what we know best to do. And we encourage all Biafrans to be part of that fundraising and disregard any instruction that is not emanating either from myself or from the United States of Biafra government Twitter handle. On that note, I just want to encourage Biafrans, do not be used as a tool. Do not let anybody deceive you. When they tell you, I know PM, I do this for PM, I'm the one, ask them, why is it that the Prime Minister did not give them the power to hold on to this office while he's gone briefly? Ask them that question. And if they cannot answer that question, that means they know nothing about what our Prime Minister knows. We must stay focused. And we must continue to execute the task that our Prime Minister wants us to execute. On that note, I would like to invite our special guest, Attorney Levy, to give us 1 or 2 words, and then we go to the cabinet members. Thank you so much. Attorney Levy, if you can unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead. Great.
Thank you, Dr. Arabwezi. You know, I've worked on behalf of BIAFRA for many, many years with predecessor organizations, and it's great that we've gotten to this point where there's the Declaration of the United States of Biafra, and I'm here as attorney to support that on the international and national level. So we have many different legal initiatives that were laid out by the Prime Minister and that the current government is also on board with, and all the legal aspects will have only one purpose, and that purpose is to promote the independence of Biafra and the international recognition, while keeping in mind that the primary human right that we must look at right now is self-defense. So there is no human right without the right of self-defense. We must remember that, and remember very well that the movement goes far, far back, and it's a reaction to genocide. So on the international level, we're going to fight genocide. We're going to support the United States of Biafra. We're going to take it to the international authorities, but at the same time reminding them that Biafrans are not paper tigers, that Biafrans also will not shy away from their human right, the main human right, the right of self-defense. So there's many specific initiatives. I won't go into them here. Some of them are already in the works. We've achieved some of our goals already, even as we speak. So we're looking forward, moving forward, and give it back to the chair here.
All right. Thank you so much, Jonathan, Dr. Levy, and thank you so much for that update. On that note, the Information Secretary, we are going to go ahead and introduce the different secretaries of the United States of Biafra, and then for 1 or 2 minutes, and then if there's any, then after that we take the questions. So let us, Dr. Aki, if you have the list, let us go ahead. Let me start with you first, and after that I can hand that over to you, and then you can go ahead, please. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. I've already been introduced. My name is Dr. Agi, the Secretary for Information, Telecommunication, and Postal Services. I'll take my time to call out the media personnel that we're missing on the list. Those you have to follow on their social media handles. And those are Chuk Survival Channel, Mazi Victor Ozaganobi, Ndubisi Calvin, QTV, Obi-Wane Igbo News TV, Mouthpiece of God, Clara Deems, Adadi Orama, Ugo 247. Please, dear friends, these are the people you have to follow in order to be getting the right information. We thank you so much so far for being with us on Space. We've had 2 Space, this week. We'll be doing more. And I thank you so much for being with us. As always, it takes time to get everything together. We are making progress. Kindly support us in any way you can. And the way you can support us is by listening to us. These are the channels. Any other channel, any news you hear from any other channel apart from this is not from USB. Thank you so much. For the secretaries, can you raise your hands, please? I don't have the list here with me. That will help us. Can you raise your hands? Yes, you start to know. Okay. Let's start from my end. I'm seeing Kristen Udozo. Please, sir, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, good afternoon. Time zone.
Oh, bad network.
Our deputy prime minister. My name is
Bad network, yes. Okay, Dr. Nana, go ahead, please. He will come back.
Yeah, it's from
Yeah,
Homeland.
very,
So,
yeah, very bad network.
yeah. And the Buddha, so you might need to come back later because you're breaking up. Okay.
Dr. Nana,
All right.
Okay.
Okay, am I coming out clear?
Yes.
Yes, yourself and the position you're holding, then you can go ahead and talk to BIAFRA for 2 minutes. So when they want to ask any question about your department, they'll be direct. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Greetings, Biafrans all over the world. All protocol duly observed. Our Chief of Staff and the Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Oraveze, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, fellow cabinet members and friends of Biafrans listening to me all over the world. I thank you all for coming to this forum. I want to thank Chukwu Okike Abiama, who has brought us this far, because it is not an easy journey. A lot of people have sacrificed a lot of things to get us to this point. So we acknowledge all of them, including our men on ground who are defending us day and night. My salute goes to all of them. Our people have endured a lot of untold hardship and various human rights abuses meted on them by the Nigerian state. And aside from the wanton killings, raping, maiming of our people, the Nigerian government have deliberately deprived our people of basic amenities such as access to clean and safe water. We have seen a trending video by one skit maker, Mark Angel, on his visit to a community in Old Akwa Ibom State, where our people were drinking from contaminated water from oil well. And we have also seen a lot of people building their houses, digging sockaway and having their well close to the sockaway. They've been drinking contaminated water all these years. And this has contributed to a lot of deaths, diseases, both fecal-oral infections such as polio, peptic ulcer disease, hepatitis A and E, and so many other diseases that are incurable, all because of the deliberate sabotage of our region. We have also seen how the government have deliberately refused to clean up where oil explorations have been done over the years, like in the coastal region of our territory, the Ogoni land. Their fresh water has been messed up, the aquatic life has been destroyed, and nobody cares about them. And we have also seen how Nigerian imports outdated vehicles that have never undergone any emission test, polluting our environment, causing all manner of respiratory diseases. And we have also seen the indiscriminate deforestation of our forests and bush burning, indiscriminate bush burnings and open defecations here and there because there's no toilet facilities in strategic public places. All these things were done just to marginalize us, just to make us die, just make us not to live quality standard of lives.
All right, 2 minutes.
This government.
All right. Just round up. We just want to get
okay, I'm rounding up.
Please.
By the special grace of God, the United States of Biafra is under the leadership of our Excellency Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, is here to provide a lasting solution to all those menaces that our people have been forced to endure. Our aim as a ministry is to ensure that we give our people access to clean and safe drinking water in every household, and to also make sure we protect our environment, bearing in mind the United Nations action, climate action, and also the United Nations Environmental Program. This is what we are committed to do to make sure that our people have a quality standard of life under this government. Thank you very much, fellow Biafrans. And we also use this opportunity to call on Biafrans that are experts in environmental management, people who are good in soil scientists, people who are good in water purification, those who are good in management of wastewater and drainage system. We are calling on all of you who are talented to come forth and serve your nation, because this is our collective effort. Nobody can build Biafra. It is our duty to build Biafra for ourselves. That future that we desire, that dream city that we want to build, it is our collective effort. Let us join hands together and move our nation forward instead of listening to gossips and propaganda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nana. Next, Honorable Benny.
Please, let's try and keep it to 2 minutes, because we have so many hands that we talk, and then we're still going to take questions. If it's 1 minute, that's even better, so that we just make sure we leave you on time today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chief of Staff, Deputy Prime Minister, as it is now. I want to stand on the existing protocols, and I will not take a lot of your time. My name is Bennett, just as it is described in the list of secretaries. I spent more than 28 years in the oil and gas industry, working in various positions, and retiring as a very top or high officer in one of the IOCs. So it is time to give back to the society, and I find it very, very important and adequate to give back to Biafra, to serve Biafra. I've witnessed a lot of things that have been going on even while I was still serving, but today we are here, we are talking about Biafra. So I want to say that the oil and gas department, it will be structured differently from what it is now, because in a confederation.
Dr. Benny. Dr. Benny.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Dr. Benny, hold on. Please give me 1 minute. I totally forgot. Our attorney has to get back to work. Please, I know she requested to be the first person to speak so she can quickly jump back to her job. And I totally forgot. Right now, I saw her. Please, let's give our attorney Jane the opportunity to speak briefly and jump back to her job. Then after that, Benny, you continue. Go ahead, attorney Jane, please. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Wow, what a turnout. It's such an honor to be here. Welcome to everybody. Our Honorable COS and Deputy Prime Minister, thank you. Also sending thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa and every cabinet and secretary here today, and all our distinguished guests. You're all very welcome. My name is Jane Iwunze, and I'm honored to be the Secretary of Justice for our amazing United States of BIAFRA. Just briefly, as I don't have too much time today, I just want to emphasize how in the Department of Justice, we will be committed to integrity, to honesty, and to transparency. And I really just want to highlight these values because I believe it will set us apart, and it will be the defining factor of the difference between our Department of Justice and others in Africa and in the world. I also want to use this opportunity to call upon well-meaning Biafrans, both at home and abroad, who are interested in serving this nation, to reach out. We will be needed. If we all put our minds together, put our visions in line, we can build a just and equitable and accessible system. So I think information will be made available as to where to send your applications, but in calling, and don't be no matter the age, don't be afraid. your expertise, as long as the passion and interest is there, if you can send through application, obviously there will be a screening process, but yeah, just wanting to use this opportunity to call out as we build this Department of Justice. And I'm very excited for what the future holds. I'm excited to be a part of what will be one of the greatest nations. So yes, that's me. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Honorable COS and all members of Cabinet.
Yeah, thank you so much, Attorney Jane. And I know that, again, I've put up dear friends that are interested in the position she's offered. You can send your application to the Chief of Staff at biafrarepublic.gov.org. I've posted it on the chat section. And once we get that, it's going to go to the appropriate department, who is going to screen, which is the Department of Labor and Productivity, headed by the Secretary Ulo Wonatu for screening. And I know, Attorney Jen, before you leave, I know a lot of people who have been distracting this government has been trying to quote the charter, page 26, 27, something to that effect. I know that these are individuals that never even know where we started or how we've been going, but for all of a sudden, everybody's talking about charter. I know that that particular area of our charter talked about the establishment of the government structures 4 years after we get to Homeland. If you want to take just 1 minute to expatiate on that particular aspect, so that that will put to rest some of these individuals who, I'm not going to say they're confused or they know what they're saying, but they just want to bring that aspect to just be a little distraction to what we're doing at this point. Thank you so much, Attorney Jane.
Thank you. Yes, there's not too much to say about it if we have been following what our COS has been saying. It does, in terms of the charter, we do have to understand that this process of restoration, redeclaration, and then this liberation, it comes in stages. And the stage that we are in now, we are still operating with the cabinet that we have is still operating based on how it was selected, how our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa called it to be beforehand. When we get to that stage of, like our COS has said, when we get to that stage of liberation, then that term, that 4 years, the election process can begin. At this stage,
ndị banyị ngwadalụli nne nukwu n'isi wee na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa ka efi were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe Biafran Chief of Staff kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ bụ Dr. Ngozi Orabaeze. Gịnị ka i were ikwu n'ụdị nke gị gbasịta maka ebe ife ndị a niile nọ okwu n'iru akwụkwọ? Drọpụọra ya alụ gị, drọpụọra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ka a mara ife iche, your own reaction gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na Eastern News 24 webe anyị si were wetara onye bụ ozi ọzọ dị ka ịbịa bụ tụsakwa ya bụ ozi ka ụmụnna anyị dozi n'ebe dị iche iche wee marakwa ife na-emenụ and wee mara the update on the latest development on Biafra Republic government in exile. Daalụ rinne na ụmụnne m, ka emesịanụ.